Well, the government claims it's received word from Russia that Australian fighter Oscar Jenkins is alive, but there is still no proof of life. Joining us live now is Army veteran Glenn Kolomeitz, who has previously advised Ukraine's forces. Good to see you, Glenn, here in the studio. Thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Russia says he's alive. Can Russia be trusted? They're two words that don't usually go together.
Pete, disinformation is a big part, an integral part of Russia's concept of military operations. Disinformation goes with everything that Russia says and does. So, look, they can't be trusted. And I think, as you touched on, some sort of proof of life would be required.
So, I mean, do we take from them that he's alive?
Look, I think we probably should at the moment. And I've been saying all along, it doesn't make any sense for the Russians to intentionally kill a Western legionnaire.
Yeah.
Because of the information operations, the propaganda value and the leverage value against Australia.
Correct. OK, so that leads me to my next point. So if Oscar is alive, and we of course hope that he is, he will be a political pawn. That's how things work. That's what you're alluding to there. Russia will want something in return. What would that likely be to have an Australian prisoner?
Look, they know that we provide a lot of equipment to Ukraine and support Ukraine. They well may say, well, Australia, you're about to give them tanks, don't give them tanks, that sort of stuff. But at the moment, Australia doesn't have a lot of cards to play with here.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What can the Australian government do?
Yeah, well, like I say, they're talking a big game. They're making demands of Russia. Those demands are pretty pointless. Not a lot of cards in their hands. There's one card right now, a potential card, that's sitting in the Russian consulate in Sydney, and that's Mr. Boykov. And he has said publicly that Russia would have a prisoner swap, but he's not a prisoner, but he's self-imposed, with him and Oscar. Whatever it takes. If he wants to sit in a Khrushchevka in Moscow, outside Moscow, so be it. Give us Oscar back if he's alive.
So that's what you suggest should be the play for the government, prisoner swap.
It's an option. It's an option, right?
How difficult would that be in these circumstances?
Look, it can be facilitated. That's Russia and Ukraine do prisoner swaps now, and we've seen British legionnaires, captured British legionnaires, swapped for Russian prisoners of war. So I just can't see how we should be considering at least this Boykov option.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's a tough response so far from Penny Wong. It'll be an unequivocal response, but I mean, what would that be?
Yeah, they can make demands, they can write letters.
But Putin doesn't care what
No, that's right. That's right.
But now, like you said, if he's got a prisoner, he might be able to get something out of it.
And he'll try and leverage
see what that is.
Yeah.
There is a view that Oscar, despite all intents and purposes, that he shouldn't have been there. That this sort of stuff happens when you're in the theatre of war. Should he have been there?
Mate, the
question people are asking.
The legionnaires I've worked with are all ex-ADF, all ex-militaries from around the world, but a lot of ex-ADF. So they're there for a reason, professional soldiers. Oscar was a civilian, but nonetheless, he's had a motivation to go, be it altruistic or adventurism or something, and he was fighting for Ukraine, which is not just Ukraine's fight, it's a global fight. It's a global fight. So, look, good on him for being there fighting. The Australian government discourages it. I don't think we should be critical of Oscar. He was there for a reason. He wanted to help Ukraine, presumably.
All right. Yeah. So, with your background, you'd help in this prisoner swap, would you? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm close friends with Mr. Boykov's barrister and in some certain other matters, and I'm sure we could at least talk about an option. We can't ignore options.
That would take a long time, though, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but these things, he could be a prisoner of war for a long time.
Yeah.
Too. Russia has no obligation to release him.
Well, and in what conditions would he be kept in?
That's the problem.
Wouldn't be great.
He's a prisoner of war. He's entitled to be protected, to be looked after, but Russia don't. We know that. We've seen the footage of him being interrogated.
Yeah. I mean, rations would be low. They're in winter at the moment. It wouldn't be ideal, that's for sure.
No, that's right. That's right.
Glenn, good to see you. We'll see how that goes. We'll check in with you.
Thanks, Pete.
All right.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon.